Good morning, Freetown. Good morning, Sierra Leone. Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV TV and AYV Radio and FM 101.7. My name is Bokari Matia.
And I am Phoebian Swale. Whether you're watching us or listening to us this morning from the provinces or in the capital city on Channel 33 or on DSTV Channel 399 from across Africa, we say good morning and welcome.
But of course, you can also watch us online from across the world on this beautiful day, the 15th day of June 2026.
Please stay with us because in the next 2 hours we'll bring you news, views and sport. We're broadcasting live from the top of Tower Hill in the heart of the city, Freetown. Send us your thoughts and comments through our comment section on Facebook, AYV News, and on YouTube, AYV Media Empire.
But of course, today we shall be looking at color-based discrimination as the world marked International Albinism Awareness Day over the weekend. We bring you a special report amplifying the voices of albinos. We look at the myth about the condition and how to tackle the risks of preventable skin cancer.
When will the Sierra Leone Bar Association hold their elections, which have been postponed indefinitely? We'll talk to the president of Bar Association, Tuma Adama Gento Jabi Kamara. She will also talk to us about her 2 years in office, the successes, the challenges, and the controversies surrounding the Bar Association currently. But before all that, let's get a quick word from our sponsor, Wakeup Commercial Bank, which will be followed by other advertisers. Grab a cup of tea or coffee. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Wakeup SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Sorry, car, go see some business partners.
You didn't give me memory, Michael. Can if I can say you give me this camp people in no to in Andy.
Today you pay me money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now you not send me money and 10 you not give me back me money. Today, give me money.
You know ever sabi goodness in life. I dey send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I dey ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them.
With Afri money, we able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me party know this, we not for the party drama right now.
Okay, una go regret. I mean now, una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able send money even if you not use app, even if you know the online directly. All you need for do, you just a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with Afri Money. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. Afri Money, quick and easy.
Every day feels better with peace of mind, and peace of mind starts with preparation. Unexpected moments can happen anytime, but with the right insurance, you're always one step ahead. At J-Man Insurance, we help you protect what matters most: your life, your family, your future. Don't wait for what if. Prepare for what's next. Get covered today and move forward with confidence.
face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now I make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, it healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, on 8th August 2024, Statutory Instrument Number 8 of 2024 regarding the conduct of nationwide population and housing census was successfully laid in Parliament. On 29th August 2024, this statutory instrument became effective following 21 days from its laying. Therefore, in line with the decennial census calendar, I am pleased to announce that my government will conduct a nationwide population and housing census.
It's 2026, we dey get with census. Make all man telling fambulem, and we responsibility for bring development. Make all man telling fambulem. From the east to the west, blah blah blah. From the north to the south, blah blah. No matter how you dare or you try, blah blah blah. You want to call mama or papa, blah blah blah. One picking or grandpa, blah blah blah. Auntie or uncle, blah blah blah. May they call you, yeah. One people, one nation. May they call you, yeah. Now we know back up bills alone. May they call you, yeah. No person say you not here. May they call you, may they call you, yeah.
I'm a papa, make we come together now. Brother, sister, nothing say you no matter, no. No left behind, no. This now you 10 for. Can join the census. Salon now we on.
Okay, well, show me your name, show me your address. For make you go join now the plan. The census go make you get the access. For make you go vote now this land. Let the all you. If you don't want make them country again, make them grip you. Cause this time you're Salon for right.
See what you been a second cabo aduo. We bring good news, Salon people every year. Census don't come again. We ready for contact, sky from the young to the old. Say the census go help make development day. Allow me them continue till you know go pay. It go help plan more schools, hospital and lights, even water for you community. Who say you there?
May they call you, yeah. One people, one nation. May they call you, yeah. Now we know back up bills alone. May they call you, yeah. No person say you not here. May they call you, yeah. May they call you, yeah.
Census they come, the other we cooperate. Tell mama and papa, then get for country all, dear, make we all ready. Census go help for make we know we safe, and who say we stand. If you claim say you love Salone, who say development day, na day you for day.
Yambo tegina, mimbo tegina. Mingo te teke biambe. Ka 2026, census na me right, census na you right. Family. Imagine if they count everybody, they left you out.
Remember Kotumobawa, Pakofoni Sabella Tua. Tonya, Yamu with you hole banda. Wabulo let the Bawa Bayaganga. Yatumobawa Mudabi behavior. Comment here, go salon bate, Mokaleva. Nabi Ina, Namataba Bawana. Yo, Mama Kome Kolabo Gunya Delega. Ina.
Kakotone dim ding dang, dim ding dang, dim ding dang. Katsap katsa ting ankape katsa konkal, ankape katsa panganda yer. Abagato bagatis, aindo kor. Akalene, tamojamu, agatkamu, tarentamu. Donye, mama maritaka ngonsu.
Ame ya timi wandi, timi wandi. Ame ya timi wandi, timi wandi. Mwakongo tami wandi, ungewa menda milwena wo. Ya kongo tabi wandi, ungeba handa bebe holo.
From the east to the west, blama blama. From the north to the south, blama blama. No matter how you dare or you try, blama blama. You want to go, mama or papa, blama blama. One picking on grandpa, blama blama. Auntie or uncle, blama blama. May they call you, yeah. One people, one nation. May they call you, yeah. Now we number go be salon. May they call you, yeah. No person say you not here. May they call you, yeah. May they call you.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like a Wakeup SIM couple.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Sorry, car, go see some business partners.
Today they give me my money, Michael. Can if I can say you give me this car people not to in that day. Today you pay me my money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now you not send me money and 10 you not give me back my money. Today give me my money.
You know ever sabi goodness na life. I send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now baku Africa countries them.
With Afri money, we'll be able to send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me party be know this, we not for the party grammar right now.
Okay, una go regret. Una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael. With Afri money, you dey able send money even if you no use app, even if you no dey online. Directly, all you need for do is just a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I no need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with AfriMoney. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. AfriMoney, quick and easy.
Every day feels better with peace of mind, and peace of mind starts with preparation. Unexpected moments can happen anytime, but with the right insurance, you're always one step ahead. At J-Man Insurance, we help you protect what matters most: your life, your family, your future. Don't wait for what if. Prepare for what's next. Get covered today and move forward with confidence.
Feels good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
Welcome back. A quick reminder, this is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV TV and also on radio here in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Now let's be honest here. Have you ever looked at an albino with prejudice? While you think about the answer, let me tell you a thing or two about the condition. Albinism is a genetic variation that affects the color of the skin, hair and eyes. While exact figures are hard to come by, it is estimated that around 2,000 Jews, as they call locally, live in the country Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone's Disabilities Act categorizes albinos as people living with disabilities and guarantees them certain rights. But that doesn't stop the deep-seated social stigma that they face. Well, in 2014, the UN declared June 13th as International Albinism Awareness Day to promote their rights and dignity. Mohamed Bakar Kamara has been following and looking at how albinos are treated in the country, and he compiled this report.
It is a natural condition, but in Sierra Leone they are punished for it. People living with albinism face discrimination, stereotypes, limited access to healthcare needed to treat their condition, and social exclusion. Even if many have exhibited courage, resilience, and hope in the face of all that.
We get very harmful, misconceptions towards person with albinism. They say, we are people of spiritual powers, we know they dying a lot through the laws.
For years, misconceptions surrounding albinism have shaped how many viewed people born with the condition. They are mocked, ostracized, or denied opportunities simply because of the color of their skin and hair and the condition of their eyes. Sierra Leone Association of Persons with Albinism is leading efforts to shatter the barriers and create a society where albinos can live with dignity and have equal opportunities. The director, Mohamed Usman Kamar, says progress has been made, but tougher laws are needed to specifically protect albinos.
We are calling for specific policy. Yes, the Disability Act, we talk about the protection of people with disability in general, but we hope for get specific policy because albinism is very, very dynamic, very different. Because look climate change. Yes, they affect all persons with disability, but will they affect we more? Will life then they at stake? Not to just affect, will life then they at stake? Because if you get skin cancer now, die, they die. And because of the too much heat, the increased heat and the UVA radiation done so immense, they make now even if you cover your body, you got sunscreen, so if you still get blisters and dark spots and reddish bumps then on your skin. So it takes a lot for let somebody take care of yourself. So provisions and for the money then they will then for the like social, Ministry of Social Welfare, knacks are there all day. So therefore they look on things there because funds they come in for climate change. And if you think about human beings, then they will affect more. They go and plant trees, yes. But what about the other people and for save their life and prevent them not forget certain danger for certain skin damage will go lead to them early death? Waiting the government and waiting the other stakeholders they do towards that. It's very, very serious and we call for laws that are specific for people with albinism in the albinism community.
Mothers of albinos face the stigma even before the children grow up to face a society that is cruel to them. For Salima Ba, motherhood came with challenges she never anticipated. Raising her albino child has required extra care and energy while having to constantly protect her from the sun and society.
I need to be honest with you. At a first sight, I was broken. Not because I don't appreciate the kid, because of the first thing that kind of my mind was discrimination and how the society go marginalize and when you grow up. I begin think it will ever get confidence of himself, it will like himself, it will appreciate himself. But one thing I been know in life is because of the person where I be, I just know say either ways I go work out, it will become the kid I want in the future. The kid not just a normal kid for me, just like other kid. The challenges where a parent they go through for raise became, I think they are the same challenges I go through. For me, not to be in any big deal. The only measures the way I feel like I put in other words, trying to understand how for able maintain the skin, and most time for keep them away from the public too much. Yes, I think that's gonna be one of the measures they were put in order. To start with, where it starts for school. I take them na international school we get in kind colors when I the white then. When I Turkish international I actually drive na lonely. So me picking that school and for school and the way it start for noticing self. So it sees self among people with the same color. So for him it was not a big deal. Rather than for say if you not maintain the skin, you go begin see rash, the hot go disturb them. Then for me, I try for understand say allergic to some foods them. Not that now because of the food and the spoil in color, because people they say we eat pawpaw, we eat this, the spoil no. But we know say Motama, we get people away allergic to certain food then. So me don't try for take notice of food. They want to say if he eats this, I will see this time body, I will see that time body. Then I also did thorough research when it comes to me kid. Then I want to say a big kudos to Slapwa, an association where they are free to me also and they esteem. And now people always don't play a very big role when it's come for take care of me PK, because then they supply with sun cream, then they teach you how to take care of the skin, then they go way far, then they do cancer tests, eye tests, a lot. So I don't do with Slapper, it's over, if I know like it's over 5 years now. Then don't they guide me, the journey with Andrea, don't they go with them, and everything is just perfect for me.
Like many other parents, Salima has had to answer difficult questions and confront negative attitudes directed at her child. Yet, despite the obstacles, she remains determined to ensure a child grows up confident, accepted and loved. Her story reflects the experiences of many families across Sierra Leone who continue to battle the stigma. Yet, they are also inspiring examples of individuals who are redefining what is possible. Among them is Diana Boy McGarrick, a young woman who stepped beyond society's expectations and proudly represented Sierra Leone on the international stage at the Miss Albinism Africa pageant, where she emerged victorious. Her achievement demonstrated beauty, intelligence, and leadership are not defined by skin pigmentation. But Daniela says even that has not stopped the prejudice and discrimination they face.
I see how society need to get better in terms of treating people with albinism with respect. So I come across a community when an organization, when I say a little association of persons with albinism, maybe boost the urge for me to be able for represent people that like me in a positive way to let themselves feel like say this is not a man to do better things then. So it wasn't easy. Things then they will stop you. Some man will even take you beyond situation or condition as priority because definitely affect the majority of population. So they say it's not to need. But definitely the struggles the more we go through now a big push for maybe self able for stand up for yourself because definitely if you not stand up for yourself or try to make things right positively, nothing will happen where it will be better thing for you. You're not prioritized. And also for make sure say persons with albinism in a salon, they be more respected and people then get to normalize albinism in our society because when you normalize something, you're not gonna be strange and people are not gonna see it as anything way different in a negative way. Misinformation when people then get about albinism, like certain food they know for eat okay, not put them under light, certain light, no make flights don't param where all the information in there now false, not true.
Her journey has become a source of inspiration for young people living with albinism across the country. Following in similar footsteps is Memunatu Kamara, a contestant and advocate who continues to challenge societal perceptions. Through her confidence and determination, she is creating visibility for people living with albinism while encouraging others to embrace their identity.
Person she looks more beautiful. This person you get fine figure. This person get fine body. Well, however you skin on day or however you feel say you life on day, you don't need to give up on yourself. You need to love yourself more. Now that's the more reason why you need to love yourself. If you that person will look different, whether you live with albinism or you that person will live with vitiligo, you need to love yourself. You need for go out and have fun, not stay isolated, not cover up. Be you and be unapologetically you.
As Sierra Leone joins the rest of the world in observing International Albinism Awareness Day, advocates are calling for greater public education to combat the myths and misconceptions. They are also urging government institutions to ensure the provisions of the Disabilities Act that guarantees them healthcare access, educational support, employment opportunities, and protection from discrimination. Mohamed Bakar Kamara, AYV News, Freetown.
Many thanks for that report, Mohamed Bakar Kamara. Well, now to discuss the International Albinism Awareness Day and challenges faced by albinos. We have with us in the studio Mohamed Usman Kamara. He's the Executive Director, Sierra Leone Association of Persons with Albinism, SLAPWA, and Salmat Abba, a parent of an albino, who volunteers in the campaign against discrimination. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In Studio 2, we have Kemo Cham. He is a journalist and an albino advocate. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I'll start with you, Mohammed. That report by our colleague Mohamed Bakar really kind of gave an insight into the life of persons with albinism. But how widespread is the discrimination against persons living with albinism?
Honestly, thank you, Fabian, and good morning to everyone out there. It's a serious matter, and it's spread. I think in Freetown we are facing a lot of discrimination in this level, as you've heard to the few people that they interviewed. The name calling is immense. When you go to school, also the isolation there and the lack of understanding by teachers or educators for them not to understand the challenges that people with albinism are facing on a regular basis. And if it's like this in Freetown, what about up country? So we've been to I think, all of the districts in Sierra Leone, and we know for sure the discrimination and neglect and the marginalization up countries is far way than in Freetown. And so we are seeking, we are asking people to, try to connect with the organization, and I think we were able to like combat this kind of discrimination, but the discrimination is like everywhere in the country, and it's very, very immense. You talk about, name calling, which is very, very, very much derogatory. I had the reports, and I had even the terminologies used in describing people with albinism from the report too. I will like for people to just try to edit some of them. You don't call people with albinism albinos because it's derogatory. It's just like you calling somebody
What's
with
the most appropriate?
a person with albinism, or people with albinism, a girl child with albinism, a boy with albinism, a kid with albinism, rather than albino. Because when you say albino, it's like you are, if you have somebody with amputated and you say Cotan, you call the person Cotan rather than the name. So the person first before the disability. So you think about the person first, and I'm a human being first. So a person with albinism, not even a person living with albinism, because we are not living with albinism at home, we are living with albinism rather. So so all of those different things makes up, you put the human being first. So that's the situation, because the right terminology will give that person confidence. But when you start calling people certain names that they don't like juice all the time, juice, yeah, if you don't know somebody's name, most times you have people say, auntie, uncle, brother. Why not call me the same, say auntie, uncle, brother, and then when I turn, and then you ask my name, and then we start from there. But we're just trying to emphasize the challenges that we are facing on a regular basis. Some people at the back end say, listen, this you, they can't follow on just no. Listen, say they die. I don't want to see that. So all of those utterances have been, they are disturbing us, and they are making us feel less of a human, lack confidence, lack self-love. That's very, very is working with our mental, mental health issues are all there, stress, anxiety, and all those things. You're afraid of going out during the day.
What is more baffling, perhaps, is we live in a continent where the Pan-Africanists would tell you that cultural imperialism has led us to a place where Africans do not even appreciate the melanin they have on their skin, leading many people to bleaching, for example. They prefer light skin. For persons living with albinism, you actually have a complexion that, others bleach their skins to have. Others sort of have a complex on other people with that lighter shade. Why do you think people still exhibit forms of discrimination against you when even the skin tone, the shade you have, is something they admire in others and try to get through bleaching? Why the discrimination against people living with albinism?
So you see how the world is. It's very, very funny. You're trying to bleach your skin to look light and to reduce some of the melanin that God has given you, which is a blessing. Melanin is just about protecting the skin or from the UVA ray. It's also, it helps also to boost your immune system and give you a stronger immune system to stand certain illnesses. But I believe it's the fact that they know for sure we've been given birth to two dark people, and we're here in Sierra Leone, and then they find out that when the sun hits us, you see some dark spots and other things there. And because from time immemorial, people have associated albinism with witchcraft, and they said, we are not going to die, we just disappear. I think most of us are fallen victim here. You normally will say, Jews know they die and I lost the Lord. Judas say, you understand? Most of those, those songs have come out and people have been mocking us. People have been, bullying us everywhere because of the belief that traditionally or culturally they have been sharing it throughout life. Like the mom would go out to wash at night when she's pregnant, and then a devil will just jump in the stomach and then they give birth to a child with albinism, or somebody is on a mesis and then conceive and then give birth to a child with albinism. So all of those beliefs, all of those myths, all of those prejudices have, make people to think that these are not humans, these are like devils, or this like, so that's the situation. I believe that's where the discrimination emanates from, and we have to change the mindsets of people, and it takes a lot, and you, the media, have a lot of role to play to see that this mindset is changed. Because when you talk about scientifically and said this is a genetic condition and it's the gene should be present in both parents for them to give a child with to give birth to a child with albinism, then people will understand. But it takes time. It's a process for people's mindset to change again, because they have believed that for quite some time. Even within the medical sector, when you go out to teach medical professionals, to tell them about albinism and how to accommodate people with albinism in their clinic or in their, because we find out the discrimination is immense when somebody with albinism got pregnant and go to the hospital for services, maternity care or so, people will be asking, who is the guy that have the guts to give you to get you pregnant? Because they're not seeing the lady like a human being, they're seeing like she's a cause. In fact, nobody should go closer to him to have any kind of relationship with that person. So it takes a lot for that person to go to that hospital again with all those, those negative mindsets from the people that are working, who are supposed to take care of that person and give her the confidence she needs to become in there. So it takes a lot. I believe it's because of all the prejudice and the myth that surround albinism. That's why people are discriminating and talking about what they are seeking to get their skin lighter, or expect white people, because people will be going closer to people who are from the diaspora rather than, coming closer to people with albinism because of the myth that surrounds us in Africa.
Mohammed, quickly, before I bring in Salimatu, there are also other misconceptions or myth that people have, that people with albinism do not have better eyesight.
That's for sure. That's not a misconception. That's the reality. All persons with albinism, because of the lack of melanin in our skin, the eyes and the ear, some people have a little bit of melanin. That's why you see there are different skin tone within albinism, and you have different type. You have oculocutaneous albinism, which is OCA1 up to 7. That's different type. And you have ocular albinism. You can see somebody's melanated like amphibian, but the albinism will just affect the eyes. So that's ocular albinism. It will not affect no other part, just the eyes. So it's dynamic. It's very, very dynamic. And yes, we all have short-sightedness, and the sight is vary from person to person. Some, their sight will be better than the other person, and some, but all of us have sight problem, and that's the challenge in achieving academic learning.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to ask. Speaking on the discriminatory side, in a country where we are, where special needs children are not taken care of, and you put a person with albinism in class with the general population, sometimes people with albinism are not even in front of the classroom, they're at the back. How challenging is it to go through the education system in Sierra Leone with such a disadvantage?
Honestly, that's why I said we need to normalize albinism. We need to know that we are all persons with, we are differently made, and we lack melanin, and that is affecting our sight and our skin, which is very, very dangerous, because when we expose ourselves to UVA ray, no matter where the ray is coming from, certain bulbs also have some UVA ray. So it's not just about the sun. That's why it's very, very hard to deal with. Sometimes the lightning, the bulb with UVA will damage my skin too and cause me to have skin cancer. And will also, that's why right now when I'm here, because of this hat, it's giving me, the hat is giving me shade. Without this hat now, I should be tweaking my eyes and then, covering my eyes. So it's very, very serious. And so for you to be educated in Sierra Leone with albinism, you have to have courage, confidence, You have to have like a circle within you, like your parents should be very, very vigilant to be going to the school, to talk to people, talk the mockery, the teachers need to understand. You have to have some friends that will have your back in school, because you will not be able to see, even if you are in front of the class, you will not be able to see perfectly at the board. So you have to have some friends who are genuinely care about you, and who will be like borrowing you their notes for you to recopy, because it's difficult. The teachers will not understand. That's why we go around. I think the 14 districts and train about 250 teachers back in 2023, 2022, for them to understand how to accommodate students with albinism in class. It's very, very serious. If you don't understand, you would think that, in fact, some teachers don't even know that we have some eye condition. So they will just say, this pikin not going for learn, a fool, left for carrots. And so we heard about all those comments that people were making back there. They would say, one teacher advised the parents to take their child off school because she's not going to be educated. She's stupid. That was a word. So after our training, the woman said, please, I'll go back to these parents and tell them to send their child again, because she didn't understand the low vision of people with albinism. So it's very, very challenging for you to see someone with albinism in university and try make it and graduate it there. It's very, very challenging. Very, very challenging.
Salimatu, let me bring you in. You've heard from Mohammed, and you are raising a child with albinism in a country where the challenges are many, discrimination can be seen. How difficult is it to raise a child?
Good morning, Freetown. I'm Salman Taban, parent to a girl child living with albinism. So for me, it's difficult, very difficult. Yes, I can say it. You know, giving birth to my child, Andrea, it has been challenging from the first day till date. So I gave birth to Andrea 2019. So on that fateful day, I was at the hospital, and different type of people, you know, we have these family members who visit, see the child, help the child, and, you know, congratulate you and all. So on that fateful day, there was an elderly woman who saw Andrea, because when she came out, the air was like gold. Everybody was like, oh, now the tint way the tint so. Now make you don't born pick, you don't come out with the tint. First impression. So myself, observe that. So when this elderly woman visits, she was like, Salmata, this child is living with condition, and that condition is called albinism. I was like, I'm not supporting albinism. She's like, juice. I said, juice? She said, yeah. I said, okay. But how comes? We not get juice now, family, and the papa said we not get juice now, family. I can recall vividly. That was my first statement. And she said, you know, come by that. I said, okay. But honestly, I didn't think it's too much, because at that moment, I was happy. I've given birth, and she's a girl. I wanted a girl. So we came home. Andrea was there. Everybody likes her because she's beautiful, so white and clean. But one thing I noticed was everyone who comes in that room and sees Andrea will be like, Ebo, I manage bond this, Ebo. So I think that was the first thing that broke me.
Did you feel any form of resentment to the child or disappointment to yourself during those early moments when people expressed sort of like a sympathy towards you for birthing a child with albinism?
Yes.
How did you overcome that
Okay.
and get to a point of loving your child?
Okay, firstly, I was so disappointed, stressed, and there was one lady called Miss Cecilia. She was my neighbor. So she came in one day. She was like, Salmata, how are you doing? I said, I need you to find. She said, why? I said, anybody can they say, Ebo. I said, no, don't begin shame self for let people in for can see the kid. She was like, why the shame? Speaking beautiful. this became a blessing. You don't get her family, you don't get her anywhere. Now you don't born this bikini here, so you know if you're a blessing in disguise. Then I was like, not to even about if you're a blessing in disguise. If I abandon this bikini right now, would I go take her? Considering the kind of family we are covered, how then they discriminate picking them way now out of wedlock and all. So I think these are the things that motivated me. I was like, okay, this now me cross. I need for career. I need for accept this kid. I need for love this kid. I need for cater for this kid. Because I can tell you, I'm not going to mention names, but that child was really abandoned by the father. I was left with that child. And I know society will not see it as if it's because the child is a child living with albinism. Maybe they might say the relationship not work, but I know I was left with that child because she's living with condition. So at that point, I don't get choice. I just get for love this speaking. My family, everyone lives in Guinea. I'm here. It's like I was in bondage. I was lost. I was like, okay, let me call my mom. She came. She visited from Guinea. And she was the strongest pillar at that time. She was like, you see this speaking when you don't get so? You therefore, men are getting the best education. Become the version of what you did imagine. And one thing where I tell you, you therefore really be aggressive with the world. Not let anybody, not allow anybody for tell you anything about this speaking. So people and they go to Moriman. Some man don't get picking. You don't get picking. Now just call a correction. Now some people can actually address them saying call a correction. So why you are discouraged?
How do you protect Andrea against discrimination in society?
Okay. Andrea was discriminated at the age of 3 months. So I took up the case to court. I won. So from that moment, I swore to myself that I'm going to protect Andrea by 1, not too much exposing her, 2, always teaching her to be confident, and 3, I'm going to be very aggressive to anyone who addresses her like she is not a mortal. And I have been that kind of person.
How expensive is it to raise a child living with albinism as compared to raising another child that does not live with any form of discrimination? I know you say she's your first child and only child, but you know, with conversations around with friends and relatives who have children, have you been able to compare the cost of raising a child with albinism as opposed to raising a child that does not live with any form of disability?
Okay. It's very expensive, but it depends on how you see the expense. You know, we have something that is called time. Excess time. The attention I might be giving to another child that has normal color is different from the kind of attention I'm giving Andrea. I was living with a friend. She has a son. So that son can be left, go outside, play, be on your own. But for Andrea, I have to keep my eyes on her every second. If I turn my back, Andrea is not there, I'll be like, Andrea, where are you? Because I don't want to expose her to the sun. So when I met with Slapwa, I was taught that the sun is one major effect that destroys the skin. Yes, because at first I was thinking it's different food like pawpaw, kinda, and Benny, a lot. Because different people tell you, no get pawpaw, no get this, no get that. But I met with Slapper like 5 years back. So I registered with the organization. I met with the director, Mr. Mohammed, who become like a close friend, always counseling me, helping financially, physically, mentally. You know, he has been helping different ways. So for me, I think for now, the only expense is the time and little financial, input like her schooling, feeding. But in terms of caring for the skin, Slapper is really doing a great job for me because they always supply me with every needed product. Even sometimes they call on me to bring Andrea for skin tests, cancer, eye test, sun cream, and even sometimes art, cap, a lot of different products or things. So they give these things to me, and since then has never, not even for one, bought anything for Andrea, unless maybe her schooling, food, maybe transportation. But other than that, I think the most expensive thing is the attention for me, because I'm limited to so many things because of her. I don't go away for long. I had to give up a lot of things because I have to pay attention to Andrea. I refused giving Andrea to my parents because I was thinking, I'm still thinking I'm the only one who can give that excess attention to Andrea, to supervise her skin, know what she wants, pet her like she's that kind of spoiled child. She's so used to me, and Andrea cannot go a day without me. So I think that is the biggest thing for me.
All right, continue with us, Mr. Let me bring in Kemo Cham. You are a journalist and an advocate for persons living with albinism. Where would you say the advocacy is at when it comes to awareness and then the widespread misconception that we have of persons with albinism?
Okay, thank you. So, like most of the reports I do as a journalist, when I thought of doing this, a report I did recently, I had the idea of, the health implications of being a person with albinism. Of course, we hear a lot, when we don't pay attention. We hear a lot of what people say. I've been listening to the conversation. Some of the misconceptions that we all hold them until we pay closer attention. So when I went, I wanted to know what they were facing as far as their health is concerned. But then I stumbled into, a surprising realization that not just the health that they are confronting with, but also, discrimination and stigma from society, from family, from, as you have heard from the parents, from even parents themselves, So, but in all of this, I have realized that lack of knowledge, lack of awareness is at the center of it, because we know nothing. And this is not just those of us who have never had the experience, either because we haven't had a child who is a person with albinism or a relative. Even among the people themselves who have children with albinism. And I think that explains why a lot of people treat their kids or their brothers or sisters the way they do as we have. And I feel like if we are going to prevent discrimination, a major focus should be on sensitization. There is a lot of aspect, but I just want to touch on one thing. My experience reporting, doing the reports I did about sometime last month. I listened to Salmata when she spoke about her experience in the hospital. This is something a lady who works with SLAPO as well, Nurse Fatmata Jusu, when she had her child. At the time, she didn't have as much knowledge as she has now as a health practitioner. The first discrimination she faced was from the health workers, who were asking questions that they should not be asking, which were intended to break her. Whether it was deliberate or not, it's hard to tell. But I know that at the core of it is lack of knowledge about what they were dealing with. So if you want to prevent all these things that we are talking about, the discrimination and stigma, we have to target everybody, but specific group, the healthcare workers, even government, even within government itself. I feel like the lack of resources for persons with albinism is as a result of officials responsible not knowing what it entails. In my in my investigation, trying to write this report, I spoke to various stakeholders, the the organization responsible for persons with disabilities, SLUDI, because I got to learn that even within the disability community, persons with disabilities are discriminated. Again, I don't believe that it is deliberate. I think it's also as a result of the lack of awareness. You know, we said the disability law recognizes persons with albinism as persons with disabilities, but it doesn't deliberately target them. And this is very recently, you know. We have had the Disability Act since when? 2011, I stand to be corrected. This is over how many years? Over a decade now, I think. I mean, I think it's later, during discussions, that they saw that there were provisions that could cater for them. But these provisions were not deliberately, you know, pursued so that they are given what they needed. And this is why when resources as limited as they are provided for persons with disabilities, it's like the crumbs that reach persons with albinism. So I went to SLUDI, spoke to them. They have so much concerns that you forget about, you know, I forgot about what I went for. Almost forgot about what I went for. So we are talking generally about persons with disabilities generally. I went to the Ministry of Social Welfare. They admitted that these concerns are there and that the resources are so limited that they depend on partners. And these are some of the partners that Mohammed was talking about, that SLAPWA work with. So the advocacy is just at the level of organizations like theirs. And I think it should go beyond that. The media, you know, when I listen, he mentioned the terms that were used there. When I listened to the report, before I reported on that story myself, I was guilty in a lot of ways. You know, we call them Jews, which they don't like. They feel like it's discriminatory. It is, in a way, if you look at it, because while for a lot of people it's just the name, that's what they know, but, you know, there is a lot of connotation to it. I mean, when you call them that, it's like you don't see them as full human beings. But like I said, it's because we don't know these things. And I think a lot of training is needed. Mohammed mentioned about the school environment, you know, how some teachers were trained and then they later realized that they were discriminated. But that's just a small group of teachers who were trained. And I don't know if after that they have ever held any other training. So this has to be, you know, expanded, you know, to... I think like this should be at the core of their training. When you are being trained as a teacher, I mean, imagine the role teachers play in the life of children from that small age going up. They have to be able to cover almost everything. Not almost, they have to be able to cover everything, including, I mean, how to deal with persons with disabilities, of course, including persons with albinism. And as I mentioned, at the level of government, you know, there is a lot they don't know, I think, which is why they treat issues like this. They had issues with services, free health care. As persons with disability, persons with albinos should enjoy. But even those that are considered in the mainstream persons with disability group, they themselves are struggling to get the services that they are provided for in the Disability Act. And these are the people service providers recognize. You know, if you go to, I've not tested that, but from talking to people, I got to realize it is if you go to health facilities, for example, there are nurses who don't know that persons with albinism, you know, are persons with disabilities, so that they are qualified to have these accesses. I mentioned at the top of my discussion, I mentioned Nurse Jusu. I didn't go into detail how nurses discriminated against her by the words they said. You know, we have problems with our, you know, healthcare facilities. You know, when you have a situation like this, but they didn't know as well. You know, and she said it. Even herself at the time, she didn't know. She was just enrolled in a nursing school, and then along the way, you know, as a mother, I heard the lady speaking. When you are confronted with a problem, you are bound to investigate, to know the issues, what is responsible, and how to deal with them. So with time, she also did a lot. And one thing she emphasized in our conversation was training is needed at all levels. Sensitization. awareness raising is needed at all levels, but especially at the health facility. Midwives in particular, because when the child is delivered, these are the people who first see them. And their response has a lot of impact or implications on how the mother goes ahead to treat her child. And I believe that we have had cases where parents abandon their babies because of their skin condition. It could have been prevented if the midwives had been able to provide them that, first aid, as in, preparing them, health talk, letting them know, in the words of Nurse Jusu, why you get this speaking. The fact in a genetic condition, you don't go avoid them. That is a thing we not get control over. And why you for be proud, as Salmata said, people then they not get picking, then they try for picking, then they do some man, they go the extreme to get. Recently we hear how people are still picking at certain hospital. You don't get picking just because you get condition, you self they discriminate against them. So na lack of knowledge, and I feel say that is a major issue we need to work on.
Kemo, as the discrimination against persons living with albinism is known to be widespread, and you advance the advocacy, I'd like to hear your suggestions as to how do you think the messages on the advocacy should be rolled out, and what messages, in fact, to all the different sectors, health, education, the general population in communities. How should this advocacy be rolled out, and who should champion it?
So a lot of the time I've realized when we are dealing with issues affecting specific group of people, a lot of the time that group is sidelined. I mean, sometimes when we are, organizing conferences, we call them. But then when the decisions are taken and implementation, they are sidelined. And I've realized that this is the same for, groups like persons with disability generally, but by extension, persons with living with albinism. So, and this is a major concern slowly raised when we discussed that, they leave them out when it comes to implementation of issues that affect them. And a lot of the time, these people who who implement these things, they have no idea. And at the end of the day, the focus is what these people gain from it personally. So that is one fundamental thing. Bring them on board. It's not just when we are holding like launching of specific programs and then the cameras are around, we show that these people are part of the program, and after that, that's it. You who are not affected directly, you are the ones who are implementing, giving them what you think they need instead of you letting them tell you what they need. I mean, another aspect is the training should target everybody. I think it's such that it has to be normalized. Society needs to know what the thing is. And this is a major problem, the fact that we don't even know what it is, that it's a medical condition. Unless this sink in, we have not even started. This has to sink in that it's a medical condition, and then we appreciate it as such. Because, I mean, maybe with time, Mohammed will go deep into this. The myths and misconceptions that, you deliver or you give birth to an albino child because the mother had a sexual relationship with a devil, or the mother, took birth in odd hours, and as a result, they got an encounter with evil spirit, or the mother had, promiscuous relationship with a white man. There are so many of them. So this determines how society treats these people. So they just see them like, first of all, you are the product of an illegal relationship, So imagine how they see them, from the home, the family. After all, we know how we perceive children out of wedlock. And if you are somebody who believes that this is a result of a relationship like that, that is one. But then, because we don't even know what is responsible for their condition, the discrimination is there. So whatever advocacy we do has to deal with adequately ensuring that people know what is responsible for these conditions, and we know how we treat these people. I feel like if we know these things, if we empower people, I mean, Salmata is saying she cannot stay away much from her child because she feels like she's the only one who can provide that kind of protection she needs, and she is right. Since after my exposure to some of the problems these people face, if I walk in the street, I see a child with albino walking, and I see them a lot. They are exposed. You can see how Mohammed is dressed. A lot of them don't know that. And you see them, I have seen recently a child selling water in the street, a child, living with albino. Just a dress without sleeves. So imagine that. So if you know this, you can approach them and tell them that OT they do so, good. If their parents are there, you can tell them, sensitize them. You don't need for organize a workshop for sensitized people. We can do that, but people can only do this if they know the implications of what they are saying. And this is what I think like the advocacy should target.
Mohammed, let me bring you in. Kemal was just speaking about the healthcare aspect. Looking at the free healthcare coverage, started off with children under 5 and also lactating mothers. We extended that to Ebola victims, and now persons living with disabilities, under which persons living with albinisms have been categorized. But if we look at, affordable or accessible healthcare like, sunscreen protection and even eye services, why isn't that the government can't take these up for a start, to include them as being part of the wider, national coverage of the free healthcare system targeting persons with albinism?
Well, what they would tell you, the first thing that the resources are not there. We have limited resources, but I think we are citizens also in this country, and if the government is tasked with the responsibility to provide, us, the citizen, with proper health care, which I think is a basic human right also, fundamental human rights, the right to life, because the exposure to the UVA and the skin cancer, which will lead to early death, those deaths are not like, God na don't kill him, so God don't take in life, not in Dandy. Dandy, those deaths are like because of skin cancer. So it's untimely and so how can, and it's preventable too. So if it's preventable, what is the government doing to see that people with albinism do not go through that? And they will tell you that resources are not available, and that this population safe now small people, so like they don't see the significance of protecting people with albinism, because they also have a mindset like the myth around this is not to better people, them they are not, devil them, they die. In fact, they are not, they will just disappear.
That's what people say.
Are there. And then, so the government or people within government, because they don't have a direct relationship with certain persons with albinism, they don't see it as a fit for them to spend money. And then that's the problem. That's where the problem lies. Because at first, when we started at Connaught, we'll be having like free, like all of the tests will be free. Yes, there will be no drugs when there are surgery to do. We have to buy them through our partners like Medical Assistance, Sierra Leone, Seneca Trust, and Lancaster University and all. We'll be having those funds to like see how we can help and buying those drugs for those surgeries. But the services were free. But now, what I'm hearing now, in fact, the lab has been privatized. Now you don't go there for any tests, even simple blood tests to know the type of blood you have to pay at the lab there. So we have been paying for that. But now we've had that, even for the surgery now to take place, they have privatized the theater too. Recently, we paid for a boy who has some, I think, a broken leg. And they have to, because the leg now have a sore, and we realize if the sore continues, it will go, because the exposure to it will turn to skin cancer, which eventually he will die. So we wanted to have the operation happen fast, so we have to raise funds and then try to settle that. But we are not paying for that service, and now we are paying. So a time will come, even to see the doctor, we'll be paying. Because now we are not paying to see a doctor there. They will check you and diagnose you and say, oh, you should undergo surgery or any other kinds of thing, like having this thing, they will buy the drugs and all. But now we are paying for services that we are not paying before. And they're saying it's privatized. We've reached out to a few people and they say it's privatized. So what are we doing? What are we going to do going forward? Which it's very, very challenging for us, and now it's very traumatizing, because you don't, if you're exposed and then you have some skin issue, how can you keep that person alive? The government, we've lost countless people, about 10 or so people from skin cancer. The last one was Fode Fula, who, was supposed to take into like India for, certain treatment to take place. That's a suggestion. They reach out to the Ministry of Health. They try to see how they can pull resources, but it doesn't happen. And so the guy lost his life. So it's very serious. And within country, the services that we have here, we don't have access to it. And they said it's a law. It's enacted. The Disability Act is a law. It's a commitment by the government to take care of people with albinism, like free health care. It's a law. It's not like a favor you're doing. But if you're privatizing an institution and not passing information to those institutions that these are the things that will make commitment to people with disability, and this category is among those that should be benefited, that should benefit from those services, then what are you trying to say to the world? And the World Health Organization and the World Health Assembly has passed a resolution that sunscreen for people with albinism should be on the essential drugs. So what is Sierra Leone doing in that regard to see that sunscreen in any hospital, not just the one that Ultra Sunscreen is sending to us through medical assistance Sierra Leone, but what is the government doing to see that this sunscreen is available everywhere in the country, not just in Freetown? So if somebody go to like Kobola, they will have access to sunscreen.
And that's what I wanted to ask.
It's very challenging. We've reached out to, like, I think for all of the 14 districts, and we've seen, and we are trying to send some sunscreen there, but some people also are very, very wicked. If you send sunscreen to them for sharing there, you'll not be able to like track them what they are doing. Some people say, like you don't send the sunscreen, and you pay the transport and all. For somebody to do now the service, like Good did, say, okay, you come here at this place and then we'll give you the sunscreen for it. Some people will be taking some funds too. So we've realized that, I pay transport for this thing, so you give me 5,000, not go take Boko money, but they would collect money. And those people don't have enough money, in fact, to pay to come for the sunscreen. So even when we are going to the villages to give sunscreen out, sometimes we go there to do skin cancer screening and all, it's challenging for people to come, so you have to find transport for them to come and go. So it's very, very challenging. That's why funds from the donor partners, the development partners and private sector need to see our reasons to be funding activities of the Sierra Leone Association, because we have been doing a lot with the funding that we are having from our partners in the UK and any other places that we are having them from. But it's not enough. It's not enough, because this project that we're having, like a more 2-year project, will be ending in November. And so if it ends in November, what is the status going to be for people?
How does the association keep tabs of persons living with albinism, that are in the provinces? I'm asking because when we speak on the discrimination front, for instance, there is a village nicknamed in Kailaung, Black Man London, because it's not predominantly, but you can find a handful of persons living with albinism there. And so the people of that area, they've now termed that village as Black Man London, so to speak. How do you do that coverage, that national coverage, to ensure that not only those in Freetown, but also persons living with albinism that are in the provinces share the same, benefits or enjoyment that you guys are having here in the capital?
So we've been doing it. We have not been doing it like regularly, say every month or so, but we have sunscreen and we have partners there like Mr. Toka and a lady called Mariama. They are in Kailaung. We've been sending sunscreen there and other things. Recently, we were there. We trained some nurses, about 50 or so nurses, on how they should welcome differences, mixed with midwives and other doctors there. And then we do skin cancer screening for people in Thailand. We call some of them to come because some people cannot afford, because for them to be in Kenema, they have to pay like 200,000 or 300,000 to come and go. So some will have to, like, we don't have those funds, but some who can like come for 150,000, we have to pay for them. So they'll come there and then we screen them and we give them hats, sunglasses, sanitary pads, all of those things. We go with them there because people cannot afford. Some people don't even know how to use sanitary pads, so we have to have a session where ladies within the organization teach them how to use it and all, like a lip balm, which have SPF. So we share a lot of things there. But we want to do that continuously and reaching out there. But it's challenging because it has some financial implication, and it should be regular. Honestly, if we have enough money, we'll have some space there. But now we are making use of our partners there. I think all across the country, we have people who are volunteers that will send some sunscreen. We'll be with them, and then when it's finished, they will ask us to send more. But it's challenging if you don't have funds to be giving like token to those people. It's very, very challenging. So we need the government effort. The government needs to come in and see, because all of these things that we are doing, we are complementing the effort of the government. The government has the responsibility to take care of its citizens, regardless of where they are. But if the organization is there to complement the effort, I think the government should come together and partner with the organization to see how we can reach out to other people with funds to help the organization in the work they're doing.
Since we've had the introduction of the Disability Act, and since now persons living with disabilities have also been categorized under the Act, do you know of anyone who has been prosecuted in Sierra Leone for discriminating against persons living with albinism? I'm asking because I would want to look at the chain of reporting and whether, well, not to be negative, but Sierra Leone police will actually take such complaints seriously and say, let's look into this. Do we have any example we can point to and say, this person was, arrested or even prosecuted for discriminating against person living with albinism?
This is a nice question, and it's very, very serious, and it comes at the right time. I was hoping for this one to come. But to be honest with you, the enforcing bodies or the judiciary or so, because you will not have a case to go with there. Salmata said when she takes somebody to court, and she have the like, you are not supposed to call this child this name again, but there is no punishment for that person. So if there is no punishment to a law, then somebody will do it again. If you have punishment of fines, which will be levied on somebody violating somebody's right, then the law, the old water. That's what they say. But if there's no punishment, then how the law go old water? So within the Disability Act, even the provisions that made there for you not to call people with ability or discriminate somebody with disability in general, there is no fine, there is no consequences, there is no policy to back the Disability Act, which will give fines and levied some jail terms, in fact, because if you violate somebody, like hit somebody and violate, we have a case like Safi. She's a person with albinism and she's a lady, and because of the child, she gave birth to about 4 of 6 children. I think about 3 of them are, or 2 of them are alive now, and they've abandoned their mother because of societal exclusion and name calling, and then so they don't want to associate themselves with the mom, in fact. So that has caused so much pain, and the mom is behaving as if she's mentally derailed now. So the only time you see that lady very, very happy is when she's around people who she can trust or being herself. So if she is in the office now, you will see she will crack up everybody. You will laugh until you from there. Just think about that soul, that beautiful soul, who being laughed at to somebody who is very unhappy, in fact. And when we know for sure she's very unhappy, because she would sometimes moody, and then when I'm remembering my kids and all, but they are not taking care of me. So people are seizing advantage on her there. So they have violated her severally, and we went to the police station and reported those matters. The police are not taking it very seriously. I'm calling the name of the police station. It's at Grafton. The police station at Grafton, where you say Grafton checkpoint, that police station, we've reported cases there severally regarding that woman. They've been beating her, like sometimes somebody would take, she's making these mats, like you using like a cloth, and then you make those rugs. And also somebody took those rugs. Like this, she'll make some of these things again with local material. And then they'll throw it on the mud and all, and then they said the woman took their money or perhaps have something to give them to pay them. So they normally discriminate the woman, also the fact it goes to physical abuse. We reported the matter and nothing was done. We follow up with them, nothing was done. So it's very, very serious. Like, people are not taking our issues very seriously.
Mohammed, you have other institutions in the country. You
like
could
legal
work
aid?
with Legal Aid Board, Advocate. There's the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone. How well are you utilizing the services these structures provide?
Okay, for the human rights, we've been there. And the human rights, they will tell you they don't have any law to enforce. Like, to enforce the law. You report the case and they will write it down, and they will report it when they are reporting about the violations in country. Even amnesty, they will take up and they will report it, but they don't have the right, like, to take action more than that. I don't know if you understand. And we've reported cases like issue at Legal Aid Board, like a violation is a domestic thing. Like the husband said, because of, just remember, you were with the lady, and the lady has given birth for you, and you are all together, lovey-dovey, and then you said, because of the lady, because of her skin, you realize now that you're having bad luck. And so that's why you've lost your job, you don't have, there's no fund coming in again, and then now you have to, like, do away with the lady. And we went there to report the issue. And it was followed by Daniela and Wara. They were there going up. And then they called the guy, and the guy said, okay, if you don't want this lady again, you have to, like, pay. You know what they're saying? Like,
Child support
and all. The guy said he will not do that. There was no action taken there. So what is this country turning into? It will also discourage you for you not to go with another issue there because of that particular one incident. So that's the situation we're here in, and that's why we are here to talk about those things. So it's very nice of you to invite us here today to talk about these things. So because perhaps we know for sure people within the government and in higher places, stakeholders are listening to this program. Perhaps they will take action after this interview and see what they can do.
Beyond just the interviews, though, as you've said, people in higher ups, have you made an effort to perhaps have a meeting with some of these people? And Kemal mentioned earlier that for some people, it's basically lack of knowledge. They do not understand the challenges of persons living with albinism. Beyond media interviews, have you engaged some of these individuals personally to bring them up to speed with what the reality is and try to seek their help, interventions in any way possible?
Yes, for sure. We've really tried to reach out to more people. We've reached out to the Minister of Health. We've sit down in his office, and he said, we'll get on to you and see what we can do. And we've reached out to the Minister of Social Welfare. And I believe with all the ministers that we've reached out to, the Minister of Gender, yes, they have not funded us, but they will accommodate you and they will talk to you. And the Ministry of Tourism, in their own part, or what they're dedicated to do, they've done so much, and the minister, I will call her and then she will be. So because I think for sure we've worked with them, and those are the ministers I think will give us audience to talk about issues. But they are not like per se the ones that should take action for us. Like the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, what are they doing? Because climate change is what this particular, because Proudly in My Skin is talking about how to be proud of it and all things. But we've reached out to different stakeholders to answer your question. And I think people will, yes, the lack of knowledge, but SLACO have been around for quite some time, and we've been advocating about issues that challenge us, and we've reached out to certain stakeholders, which we know for sure, if they have our best interest, they should have called us in their office and talk about things. We know for sure they are implementing activities which should involve people with albinism at the forefront. Because if you're talking about climate change now, it's affecting the heart, yes? But there are human beings that lack the thing that will protect them from the UV ray, like melanin. If we don't have melanin, then we'll not have protection and our life at stake. We've lost people, we post on our pages, we talk about those, we try to meet with them. They know for sure that this is happening. I will not say lack of knowledge in all cases. Yes, there was lack of knowledge, but now, due to our advocacy, due to our trying to reach out to the institution that, should take care of these issues, we've tried to reach out to them. And if you take us seriously that we are part of this country, Sierra Leone, I think you should expect everyone. There should be no one left behind. And because of that, definitely, we need to take action. And just not like meeting with us and talk. We'll try to see you, we'll try to see what we can do. We need to take rigid, visible actions. This is not time about awareness. It's time for action to be taken. What can we do to limit the risks, to prevent you not having skin cancer, to reduce the stigma and the discrimination? That's what we want to see right now. We've met with several, even the mayor of Freetown, we've met with her, and she has reached out and accommodated us in certain level, but no, we need some action. She's also working on climate change issues. What are we doing to see that the people with albinism live at safe environments, and they are healthy, and they are preventable, they are prevented from having skin cancer, low vision, and those discrimination that they are facing that will make us self-isolate, self-hate, and think about harming ourselves. Because we have people who are thinking about that. Because of the discrimination and the exclusion in society, they are thinking about how to harm themselves or how not to even interact with the community. And we have lots to offer, because if you give us the space, then people will have something to share that will make the world a better place, not just Sierra Leone.
Salmata, you mentioned earlier about taking a case to court. Could you tell us what was that case about? In fact, is the matter still in court?
No.
Okay, good. So then we can talk about it. What was that case about, and what was the outcome of the case?
Okay. Andrea was 3 months old. So I was at Zainab Drive. I rented an apartment there, but I was sharing my meter with my neighbor. So the agreement between I and the neighbor was we'll come together, put some amount of money, and always top up the meter. But for me at that time, she was not doing it. So what I was doing was, if I'm the only one who top up the meter, if I'm going out, I'll switch off the meter because she's not paying. And she's having a lot of appliances. At that time, I don't even have a TV, I don't have anything. So there was a day when I came, she was so angry, she was mad, she was like, where is he, Motaman? I quote in her words, where is he, Motaman? God look and pin again and juice. Now because of his habit. Watch her no more. But you wait. Ladies, you dog here, so let begin pull them black dots them. You know what gets her for showing face. She was saying a lot of things. I was inside crying and all. And at that time, I was living with my cousin. Her name is Salmata. She came outside. She was like, Ebo Antefe. That's her name. You know, nurse. Una there for people well-being. Why make it the can't happy they discriminate because the picking do you? And mama don't hot meter, you don't go because you need a grip pay. And you get appliances, you not get nothing. The lady don't can start life. Now form no more against home. Then I they buy meter to pop in they buy. Then they can't be the cause they so in picking say a picking body go scatter and go dirty, go this, go that, the one no go embrace, I no go get confidence. Then that it go lead them to death. Why they do that day? But she's that kind of dramatic person. Everything was like a drama for me. I was like, okay, this way you don't do so. I think you could be the first person who had set example. I said, pass if law need to exist in this country, but if law they exist in this country, I mean a law-abiding citizen, I need to cost you. I need to take you to court. So I went to the police station. I made my entries and everybody was like, only for this case now, court, not a better case. Yes, the police at Lumley police station, everybody was like, not a better case this, no care, I'm going to court. You just want to waste time. I was like, now me get me case, on afford me file. I want to go court. Make I go no say Sierra Leone court. Totally need to stand for me picking in right. Then I will know what for do next. So they send the file. She was like, let us send her. Me uncle like this. Me uncle like that. So the file was sent. And I can be honest with you. I don't want to measure the magistrate's name or anyone. That case was not dealt with well. Because on the fateful day, the case was like judged. I can vividly recall the words that the judge was saying. And I'm a man, you no need for discriminate them. So if you ever do this again, we go make sure say we detain you, you will go 5 years imprisonment.
So the verdict was a warning?
Yes. And I was there.
No jail term, no fines,
nothing, no
just
fun,
a warning.
No anything. And I was there, he was like, Miss Salmata, thank you for your patience. So this is a neighbor business. You know, it was a mess.
How did that make you feel? And what message do you think that sends to your daughter, Andrea?
Okay. First of all, that was the day I made up my mind to come back to college and do a course that is related to the media. Yes. A course that can lead me to advocate or expose the exact actions of our people, especially when it's linked with people with condition. I was not happy, but I took it with good faith. At that time, I was alone. You know, the father is not there, no one is there. I'm there alone with my sister. I'm not financially strong. I have no connection. So I was happy. At least she was warned. So we came back home. That night, I cried. And that night, I made a decision. If this will make me very aggressive in this country as well, I'm going to be one.
With that said, we'll come right back to the conversation in a moment. We step away to something else. Now, Freetown is no stranger to flooding, especially during the wet season. Riverine settlements such as Kube have always withstood the worst of such disasters. As the rainy season intensifies, worry looms among residents of a settlement that could be best described as one of Freetown's most populous. Nevertheless, amid the worry, mild preparations are being made to address recurrent flooding in the area. AYV's intern reporter Aisat Asuma reports from Kube.
Last week downpour brought so much more than plastic waste to Kube. This broken bridge, a major link in the community, is one of the skirmishes that the downpour leaves behind. But for a community that is no longer stranger to flooding, everyone is overly conscious.
Well, living in Sisi, we expect the diarrhea. Yeah, you some kill flooding, but not all kill flooding. Now you actually tell you so, and you know easy the water so cheap because some part of the water all the courts picking them for good school for easy because we left picking or easy for good school. The water can full up, so get picture picking the pass. So some day picking up in good school, but inside 2 years, I will tell what thank you for the water.
Kube is faced with double trouble. They are recipients of both foreign and internally generated garbage. Conditions here are grossly unsanitary, but the choices are limited. As filthy as the water looks, residents here rely on it for many things. One of them is to wash away the flood-brought debris in homes.
Water they go inside place. I mean, around first. They not say when they can not able to come up for go sell the water. So that the eating inside for landing around other problem don't. Like all the water they don't cancel for wash the potato inside those. First we go get our water side back. Car wash to host them because we not get pump. Inside the pump they pass to road pump and they will go there. So now the itself then and the
In this densely populated community, memories of the past flooding disaster are forever fresh, which is both traumatic and motivating in equal measure. They may have come from various backgrounds, but the common good of early preparation before the rains intensify is more unifying than the politics of green and red.
Well, we not be nothing place it. The only thing I don't see small now that dumper we can clean the guts I don't. Because nothing up every unit, but nothing not in place good it. The flooding. Where the flooding be more problem by the community. Because it's in the water they circulate for circulate. Because the country they all know. You understand it? When the flooding don't take place, when the water don't take over this community, keep fearful for look. You kill yourself when you go to school, in our school time. Because it's in the everybody they prepare for standby for your own, you can control them. Because it's in the, if you not control them, a big problem. What's how they come out so? Like how she don't so. They come out different angles then. The flooding. You get the flooding. When the flooding be more problem by the community. Because it's in the water not they circulate, for circulate. Because the country they all know. You understand it? When the flooding don't take place, when the water don't take over this community, keep fearful for look. Picking yourself when they go to school, in our school time. Because it's in the everybody they prepare for standby for your own, picking and controlling. Because it's in the, if you're not controlling, a big problem. Water they come out so, like how she don't so. They come out different angles then.
Some residents say they have elevated household belongings and repairing leaking roofs. However, many believe community efforts alone may not be enough. They are calling on government authorities, disaster management agencies, and humanitarian organizations to provide additional support, including providing drainage infrastructure, waste collection services, and emergency response assistance. Isaac Asuma, AYV News, Freetown.
Thanks to Isaac Asuma there. Now, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alpha Cisse, has officially handed over a newly constructed water well to the people of Leone Town on behalf of Chris Refuel Foundation and the Sisters Bistro. The project, which seeks to improve access to clean and safe drinking water in the community, was commissioned during a ceremony attended by traditional leaders, government officials, and residents. The initiative is expected to enhance public health and support sustainable community development. Let's take a look.
So on behalf of the Chris Refuel Foundation and on behalf of the members of the delegation, and of course on me and my big brother, we on personal behalf, we want to officially hand this well over to the community through a representative of the Paramount Chief. Thank you.
So here we clap for the unveiling of the signboard. This idea of the Chris Refuel Foundation started way back in 2012, where we started doing charity work in our community and to people in the less privileged communities. And this water well project is born out of those proceeds that were from the food tasting and food reimagining of 2025. This project started months back, and so today we are here in Leroy community to officially hand over this project to the people of this community in Leroy. And we hope and pray that it will be beneficial for them, for them and for future use.
Okay, why I gladly Minister may talk and say is he say really waiting in sister in group them do. Now for time they forget whatever. I listen to the chief lady talk. He say, I'm the mommy then. When they take care of we The parent, the beginning, how did they suffer for water? I may go inside the storm. I remember they tell me, send me to grow up in a village. I see the mommy that they dance. I'm very happy for her. And this boy, you want some of what this was everything that make you happy. Say one cry. And God will make play when God will multiply income them back again.
Institute of Public Administration and Management, IPAM, with support from the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, launched a new mobile and web application platform designed to enhance access to academic information and services. The platform allows students and prospective applicants to browse courses, access timetables, and manage academic activities digitally. Speaking at the launch, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of IPAM, Professor Ezekiel Doromani Lako, and Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Sajo Aziz Kamara, and the Principal and Vice Chancellor of the University of Sierra Leone praised the initiative as a demonstration of local creativity and innovation, noting that the application was developed using homegrown talent and that the initiative is expected to improve service delivery, expand access to information, and support the modernization of higher education administration in the country. Let's get the highlights.
So that system that should make students very happy is what we're doing now. And then we know you guys are Gen Zs. And then you know what you want. Gen Alpha is coming. We are making provision for all that. And other issues will be done to it. So ladies and gentlemen, this portal and app that the university and IPAM is developing is going to be an IPAM online campus very shortly. This is just the beginning. And then we are able to address our missing grade. Say, assuming you have taken your exam and you have a missing grade, your lecturer detail there, his WhatsApp app in there, you can just go to the app, press it, and then go to the class what, and then you can inform the lecturer about your missing grade. And what we're doing is this: when you send information to the lecturer, the Center for Statistics and Communications unit here will get the information, and Students and Academic Affairs will also get the information. So we don't want you to be coming here and scattered everywhere. Just at home, on your bed, listening to music, you can just use your app and solve your students' problem. One-stop shop. And lastly, we calculate grade points. The grade point system will be there. And when you calculate your grade point, it's not the final grade point. Our final grade point is what we publish. But it's just an aid to help you to be able to do things smoothly. Because we don't want to create a prison. We want to create a system where you'll be very happy to come.
It is a great pleasure to join you at the launch of the IPAM mobile and web application platform. The launch today is a manifestation that the University of Sierra Leone and IPAM in particular is stepping up beyond its traditional role and function of teaching, research, and community service. What we're experiencing here is a march towards the domain of innovation and industrialization. The traditional role of universities are changing. I'm pleased to note that IPAM is moving fast forward.
And to see something like this, honestly, if I had my hat on, because what you have done is indeed exemplary. And it's not just going to stop here, because I believe when this is perfected, it's going to be spread across the rest of the campuses.
All right, welcome back. This is Wake Up Sierra Leone here on AYV television and radio. We'll come back to the conversation in the studio. We're basically discussing today the life of persons living with albinism. Salmata, let's come back to you and raising a child living with albinism. There are a lot of challenges, especially with, access to education, special needs. How are you addressing those special needs for your daughter?
To be honest with you, it has been very challenging, not only financially, but with the people around Andrea. So Andrea first school was Turkish International, but because the school is so expensive, I couldn't afford it as a single mother. So I took her to Excel International, so at Tembetown. So she was highly discriminated there, so discriminated. The experience was so often. Andrea was in nursery 3. So I brought her there at nursery 3, and she stays there throughout the semester with them, and she was about to graduate. So what they did was they opened a WhatsApp chat for the kids that will be graduating. So everybody was included in that group, but I was not included.
Why?
According to them, they said they forgot. And Andrea is in their class. She's one of the pupils that will be graduating. So everybody was included except me. So I tried to reach out.
And that's the official explanation they gave you. They forgot.
Yes.
Were you the only parent they forgot?
Yes. Yes. So I was one who reached out. I called the class teacher. I said, Auntie, school don't look cool. We're not talking nothing about the graduation, because I want everyone to graduate, or if they graduate, like go and get holiday to in grandma. So she said, okay, I will get back to you. She did not. After 2 days, I went to the school myself. I went to the principal office, Mr. King. I'll probably call his name, Mr. King. And I have evidences of all what I'm saying. It's over here, but I still have the evidences. So I went to his office, respectful. I said, Mr. King, I don't see them give people gown. These are the exact words that I said. I said, but nobody no call me. I not seen at the group. I don't know if you're the graduate or not. I said, they're not adding at the group. That is how he reacted. They're not adding at the group. I said, hey, Mommy Andrea, and I forget too. I was like, you know, I get extra group for the graduation. I said, but I didn't have the general group. Why? They're not able to add me. Because I don't take the contacts then. And I go don't open group. He was like, they forget, boss. What we go do? I will give you discount for the gown because we forget. The day of the graduation, that was the day I knew my child will be graduating.
Did she end up graduating?
No, I'm coming. So I went, at that time it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and the graduation will be starting like 12. So I went home, took my child, went and bought the materials, sat at the tailor shop, they show everything. So I took the gown. I couldn't wash it because we are late. So I ironed it, tried to put some disinfective chemicals because Andrea's skin. So I took her to the salon. Her hair was done. I brought her. We went to the hall. Everybody was there. Everybody was happy. Every kid took part in that occasion except Andrea.
How was she excluded?
Well, for example, some kids were asked to recite some alphabet, spell their names, they did some dancing. You know, the kids were trained to like exhibit a lot of things that day, but Andrea was just seated there in her chair.
Was she the only one left out?
She was the only one. But that is not the saddest part of my story on that fateful day. The saddest part was call time arrived. Everybody were giving certificates. Andrea was not giving certificates. They call everybody. Come here, parent, take a snap. Come here, parent, take a snap. It all left Andrea. Nobody no call him. And they won't proceed with the program. I was so angry. Then I stood up. I said, what's in the happen here? So publicly, everybody turned to me. Una wala Chris na this hall here, so una don't humiliate me too much. Una don't disgrace and marginalize me picking. Why una don't give everybody certificates and then una don't get institute? What's happened not about invisible? I was crying. Hey me, what I don't do? What I don't do the world? Why una treat me so? I bring friends. Now so una disgrace me. Now so una choose for treat me.
What was their reaction?
Everybody in that hall was sad. I'm not talking about the school. Parents, we have some, you know, I think some technical people were there, they went to cover the event. So the principal asked everyone to turn off the cameras. I said, Mr. King, being a journalist student, I like my 30 years, I come back for you. For what you don't do so today. So the wife came, Salma and Salma, a mistake now we on side, we are so sorry. And a woman stood up from the audience. He said, Tida, I'm broken. Why wanna do this? Me picking the attend next semester. Me picking the left the school. So my friends were so angry. My best friend was like, "Una fi say you go cry, you no go cry. Samata strong pass what una the things. Samata don't go through past this. You know what it mean for be a student and a single parent with PK live with condition?" He said, "What una don't do, left God you." Andrea, in case now they bring down the school here, so I promise una done it. So everybody be angry, everybody be they talk, you know. So then take me, my friends, take me to the office, you know, then try for bell we. I was not okay.
In all of this, what was Andrea's reaction and expression?
Andrea was just sad. I was held in her. She was like, "Mommy, let's go home."
Did she cry?
No, she was like, "Mommy, let's go home. I want to go home." Because Andrea actually in English, they speak, and also a bit of Creole. That is how I try so hard to groom her.
Beyond that graduation ceremony on that day, has she proceeded to the next class that she was supposed to?
Okay, here comes another problem. So she was not given certificates. Okay, fine.
Not even after the graduation?
No, after the graduation, they later make certificate, but I think they made a mistake. Serious mistake, the name was not even correct. So I wanted this certificate to become a problem again. So I went and called the director of SLAPA, Mr. Mohammed. I said, "Mr. J, I said, Alex said these people, they don't want to give me picking in certificates or results. And I need for pool and I can't go to another school. I need documents where we can't go to another school." So Mr. Mohammed came along. We met outside the gate, went into the office. Principal is seated. I'm seated, Mr. Mohammed is seated. Interrogating him respectfully, asking questions. He was like, now we forget, they became this, they became $2 class on 10 in make. Then I boldly told him, Andrea is the smartest kid in Turkish International. Andrea is known as the best people where they identify all colors and they're able to differentiate the 3 colors we always call purple. When I think indigo, purple, and then mauve. I said, Andrea, they differentiate them for, and they have been so smart. I said, I bring me picking at this school, me picking on doll, me picking on food, me picking able to do nothing. And then at the kind of kid where, if you listen music right now, she don't so. After all listening, they my man done. She's that sweet girl. If you not something go learn at school, all day they pass you, all something go all small thing. They go and sing it up and down because they want to men. I don't mean her outside. She's that kind of person. But where you go, Excel International, I actually noticed the doll. And they are so dull. You need to come again, you need to sing, I follow up now the school and say, I need extra class. I will take extra class, I pay them. At the school, I pay the teacher. But I'm not even sure if they even give them what they pay for extra 500,000. A part of them fees, and fees way for expensive, 9,000 some hundred.
Right.
Is she still in school as we speak?
Yes. Later, Mr. J asked me to, Mr. Mohammed asked me to look for another suitable school for her. So we took her to SOS, and she's still there now.
How's her performance now? Has it improved or is it still?
Yes, it's way far better. And Andrea is so loved in her class, especially by the teacher.
We're trying to round off now because we're out of time, but perhaps out of curiosity, Mohammed, what is life like, social life, in terms of love affairs, relationship for persons living with albinism?
Well, to be honest, it's been
The search for love seems tough for people. How tough is it for persons living with albinism?
Yeah, it just as you said, it's tough for people in general, but for people with albinism, I think more for the ladies, it's like people want to experiment being with persons with albinism. So people will come around them and say, some people will be bold enough to say, no, I don't want to keep, I've never dated somebody with albinism. I want to see how I can have fun with you and make love to a girl with albinism. So we've had a lot of those complaints, because that's also is harassment if somebody's telling you that and you're trying to. So we've had, when we have the general meeting or gender support group meeting, we have a lot of those revolution. People will talk about them. So these are the experiences that I've undergone. Even up to now, I think what I also told me about one guy that was
persistently following her, say, oh, dear Lord, Debo, I just want to get out with you because I know ever do I made. So it's just like experimental for some people, not they genuinely want to be with somebody with albinism, and somebody actually they are genuinely like love people with albinism, but because of their friends or societal exclusion and the myth or discrimination surrounding people with albinism will not be that confident to show off or to, to be with them publicly. So they will go around them when no one is looking, and then, so that's the situation, and it's very, very tough. And for you to know that for sure, people have negative, talks behind your back, perhaps to just fulfill the pleasure of your friends' discussion. That baby didn't to say I want someone, I just want to come around them. If that person you will talk then it will feel not genuine. So if you love somebody genuinely, express it genuinely rather than just want to come around to fool around or experiment with them. And that's the situation people with albinism are facing. But some people with albinism have relationships that are genuinely, that have stand the test of time and that are still going on strong.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen and lady, for your time this morning. We'll try to keep the conversation alive beyond just today.
That's what I wanted to end my talk with, that you guys should be calling us.
We'll
not
keep
just
the conversation
when June
alive.
is around, but on a regular basis for us to come and educate the public about what we're going through.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. This is where we'll end today's show. Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV TV. Say thanks to our sponsors, our key sponsor, Local Commercial Bank, and our other advertisers for the support to the program, and to our audience. We appreciate your time. Until we meet again, I am Bokari Matia.
And I am Phoebe Nswil. We also apologize that we announced earlier in the start of the program that we were going to have a conversation with the president of the Sierra Leone Bar Association, Adamato Majabi. Unfortunately, she consented on Thursday to be here this morning, and this morning she sent an apology to the team that she cannot be a part of the conversation today, asking for postponement, citing some issues, including that there was no flyer released for the conversation. We apologize for that. But again, have a lovely day and a productive week. Take care and bye for now.
You're watching AYV Television.
Sonny Carter, go see some business partners.
They give me money, my kid.
I ever send money for now.
I don't need it because I don't know so with African money. I able send money. Now Africa countries with African money. We able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me didn't know this, we not follow the body right now.
Okay, when I go, guys, I mean, now
a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with AfriMoney. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. AfriMoney. Quick and easy.
Are you thinking where to buy the best oil for your vehicle or machine? Shalimar Trading is your answer. You can save your money right now. Arzol engine oil, gear oil, hydraulic oil, transmission oil, grease for petrol and diesel tractors and machines. Arzol Oil and Lubricants, the best oil in the world. Arzol increases your mileage. Arzol Probus is an anti-aging formula, good to boost your engine's life and reduces maintenance costs. With Arzol Oil, your engine is assured of never aging. Arzol Oil and Lubricants, your machines are ready to give you that required speed. Arzol is here to reduce your maintenance costs. No breakdown of machinery. Using active nanotechnology, the Arzol gel cools and protects your car's engine. Improve your performance. Arzol, your expert's choice. If you're thinking safety and durability, then you need not worry anymore. At Shalimar Trading, to keep your vehicle and machines alive, roadworthy, and profit maximization. For retail and wholesale, contact Shalimar Trading.
Good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day. Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the road.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina, share happiness.
Are you spending over your budget while fixing your car? Well, I'm here at the Solution Center. Welcome to Bridgestone. Come with me and let me walk you through.
Welcome to the place where your problems meet their solutions. We offer you that tire, that vehicle or mechanics to its rightful place.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes out waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local food them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, a healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
To sleep with my hair, I trust expression, cause it makes me stay expressive. Do it yourself, don't waste time. I style my hair myself without no pain. Ooh, expressing me, expressing you all day long. For me, it's nothing but expression, whether it's work or it's play. For me, it's nothing but expression, me, it's nothing but expression. High quality and good style. For me, it's nothing but expression. To keep my head in check, expressing you, expressing me all day long. Expression, the pride of my hair.
So you no need for go to NAP again a long line at bank for withdraw your money. With the GTCO MasterCard, you can access your money now all ATM and quick one you will able for withdraw your money. For shopping online and in stores, both locally and internationally, and on tap day. With the MasterCard Secure Payments technology, you can shop with Colat because your transactions safe and secure. Plus, the GTCO MasterCard widely accepted, so you can use it at any location nationwide and around the world. Go get your GTCO MasterCard today, now the nearest GTCO branch near you, and start for enjoy all the benefits and advantages where it bring to we. GTCO MasterCard, the smarter way to pay.
At Misho Group of Companies, we keep you connected, protected, and in control. Whether you're working from home, running a business, or streaming your favorite shows, our high-speed internet service delivers the speed and reliability you need. With Mitchcom ISP internet services, you enjoy the luxury of ultra-fast broadband, fiber optic and VPN solutions, 99.9% uptime, and 24/7 customer service. We don't just connect you, we secure you. Our MSA Michel Security Agency offer professional protection with skin guards for homes, businesses, and events, 24/7 monitoring, emergency response, advanced surveillance technology, from the digital world to your front door. Michel Group of Companies is your partner in connectivity and security. Visit our head office at 71 D. Wilkinson Road, Freetown, or you can email us on elias@mitchcom.sl or info@mitchcom.sl. You can also visit our website at www.mitchcom.sl or contact the numbers on your screen. Michel Group of Companies. Stay connected, stay protected.